Hello everyone, so I have a great pair of videos for you here from Tetkino in Kursk showing combined arms operations in the region featuring F-16s and infantry, and also some additional news from there which I'll look at later. The video playing now shows a Ukrainian F-16 carrying out an airstrike on Russian positions here. This position you can see is hit by 4 GBU-39 bombs, one after the other. You can see on the video this position is ringed by zigzag trenches. It's reported by the Ukrainian sources to have been Russian firing positions here. And what is interesting is that this was a combined arms operation. I believe the very first we've seen from Ukraine in the war, because shortly after the F-16 strike, Ukraine sent in a team of soldiers to clear this position and capture it. Despite the airstrike, you can see that there are still Russians inside. We don't really see any physical soldiers of Russians, but at one point you see the Ukrainian soldiers do come under fire and toss grenades into a trench to clear it. We also see the Ukrainians using TM62 mines to destroy Russian positions in here. It's very interesting footage and pretty cool to see a bit of combined air-ground operations going on in Kursk, especially with the F-16s taking part. Always nice to see the F-16s. The F-16s hit the position and then the troops went in to capture it. The operation was a success, the position captured with no Ukrainian casualties reported. The geolocation was done by Alex Baxmore on Twitter, so 4 airstrikes hitting the spots here. This is Google Maps imagery from 2023, so the position was dug after that. I would assume it was made during Ukraine's Kursk special military operation last year, to try and protect that east to west road that you can see. And bad news for Russia if Ukraine has advanced up to here near Tetkino. Ukraine now has control over one of the 3 supply roads heading into the settlement from the east, so the noose is certainly tightening around the neck of Tetkino here. Deep State is showing the situation as so. Ukraine controlling the area north of Tetkino. They captured that during the Kursk special military operation. Now that area, Ukraine can't use it as a foothold to enter the settlement of Tetkino. It's surrounded by a river and the bridges have been downed, but it is a good position for carrying out observation of Tetkino and observation of the supply roads and that sort of thing heading into it. Also, a possible decent location for, say, snipers, mortar teams, UAV operators, and that sort of thing. It is a strong foothold for Ukraine to have. The eastern part of Tetkino is contested. This has been confirmed with geolocated footage showing combat ongoing in there. And now today's brings the area southeast of Tetkino as contested as well. Another interesting thing about this strike is it's more evidence now that Ukraine can freely operate its aircraft to carry out airstrikes targeting Russia and Russian positions, and even near the border with Kursk. We've seen this recently a lot, a big increase in airstrikes using GBU-39s, JDAMs and AASM hammers. There could be a number of reasons for this uptick, such as the delivery of Western jets like the F-16s and Mirages are now freeing up aircraft from fighter duties, so they can be used to support operations on the front line. Another possibility, Ukraine absolutely malleting Russia's air defense systems and radars this year, leading to the coverage being stretched thin and leaving pretty big gaps in Russia's SAM network. Notably, Ukraine has especially targeted the Buk systems hard lately. 10 damaged and destroyed in May alone, and I have a video of another one which should be released in the coming days. The Buks are Russia's main mid-range SAM system, which would be dealing with F-16s and MiGs carrying out glide bomb attacks. Russians on Telegram are having a little bit of a meltdown about this, as seen here. This reads, the Ukrainian aviation flies as if it were at home. Again, there are landings on positions in Tetkino. No air defense, no air cover. It's impossible to look at the map and draw a conclusion. It becomes outdated every 5 minutes. The situation is rapidly deteriorating. There are 0 prerequisites for improvement. And yes, here is the border guard from hell, writing about how our wounded lions are beating the enemy. That's true. The guys completely surrounded with their stomachs and legs pierced are holding the positions. That's true. Well, that's a tragedy. They shouldn't have found themselves in such a situation. It shouldn't have reached a point of heroism. So, things looking not too happy in the Russian camp. And that isn't all. We also have another Russian meltdown. A local mess has begun in Tetkino. It seemed that everything would work out, that perhaps the right decisions would be made. But no. Tetkino is practically surrounded. Ukraine has full control over logistics, ours, and there are mainly paratroops of the 56th Airborne Regiment, attached units, and a small number of Special Forces fighters completely surrounded. They won't give permission to leave. It's impossible to approach the fighters either on motorcycle or on bicycle. There are attempts to send reinforcements with ammunition and provisions on foot, but that means 2 or 3 people don't make it before they even reach the combat zone. Theodosia paratroopers, and there are about 2 companies, about 60 people, are holding out. They're not going to surrender, they are defending their land. So by the sounds of it, a bit of a disaster unfolding for Russia in Tetkino, and they're on the verge of losing this settlement. That second one is quite interesting, as it mentions the troops in Tetkino. So it doesn't sound like Russia has its usual bozos here. By the sounds of it, it's paratroopers and elite special forces who are defending the settlement. So it's not like Ukraine is up against the old Ipitiois. These also mention a lack of air defense, which means Ukraine can launch bombs at the settlement at will and support Ukrainian operations. Ukrainian positions north and south have given Ukraine, if not full control over the supply roads, certainly a good position to hit anything moving along the supply roads. The troops are cut off with no reinforcements incoming. The intention here seems to be to take Tetkino and potentially force Russia to halt its ongoing Sumy offensive to divert troops and resources to recapture it. That's what I'm seeing here. Tetkino is very vulnerable as well, being on the border with only one route for resupply for Russia. So this is definitely an area to keep an eye on. We hadn't seen videos from here for quite a while now, and it seems that definitely things are still continuing here. And Russian Telegram certainly isn't happy about the events here. As a Brucey bonus, I have another video from Tetkino for you here. This shows Ukraine targeting a D-20 howitzer of Russia's, hitting not only the gun itself, but also its ammunition storage and the building where the troops were. It was drones used to target this. I didn't think it was worth a video on its own, but as it's related to Tetkino, I thought I'd pop it on at the end here for you to see. And it is worth a quick look, I think. Dan Spion did the geolocation for this one, putting the D-20 at the red marker, just to the south of a small building that was being used by the troops, also hitting this attack. The howitzer was aiming southwest, so it was providing artillery support for the defence of Tetkino, targeting Ukrainian operations trying to capture the settlement. The D-20 has a 17-kilometre max range, so you can see on this little map I put together here that they are easily able to cover Tetkino from here. So eliminating the Russian defenders' artillery support makes this a very good strike by Ukraine. The D-20 is an old howitzer from the 1950s, but still quite dangerous. We saw these being dragged out of storage early on in the war. Unfortunately, Russia supposedly has hundreds of these in storage, so they're not going to run out of these anytime soon. 50 are up on Oryx so far. So that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. Now I'm going to play a video from the Ukraine Volunteer Centre about the ongoing fundraiser with them. We've raised money for these in the past, and this is the latest one. The donation links are in the description. Big thanks to everybody who's helped out so far and donated to the past ones. Thanks so much for watching, and take care, everybody.
Hello everyone. We have all seen what's happened to the Russian warplanes. It showed that Ukraine is very strong. Believe and support us, and we will win this war. Sumy region, one of the hottest area of the front. Our assault units are working here, quickly, accurately, to the limit of their capabilities. But now they critically lack the simplest thing: car. We are announcing a new urgent fundraiser for the assault brigade for 2 reliable off-road vehicles. We need them not for the future, but right now to go on missions, evacuate the wounded and deliver supplies. They know how to use these cars. All they want is for them to get to them. The foundation is raising 18,000 for 2 prepared off-road vehicles. We don't chase the picture, we only take what really works on the front line. We know what is needed on the front line. No unnecessary words, no show. Each transfer is critical for the needs of a specific unit. The summit direction is a risk zone. The enemy is constantly looking for a weakness. Their mobility is lives. It's a chance to get in and out. This is a chance not to lose people. Now is the moment when an off-road vehicle can solve more than armor. That's why we are turning to you.